right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Disrespected Fathers podcast show, and we got a another one that I want you guys to look into. So if you haven't already, I would love for you to go ahead and hit the like button, and please, I'll drop the link in the comments so where people can come up and discuss this. Um, this is a little bit further back. This was like right when I was graduating high school. I think this happened a year after I graduated high school. I think this was in '94, October '94, if I'm not mistaken, where this broad on the screen unalived her children and blamed it on a black man that was non-existent. Blamed it on a black man, and the reason she did it. Well, I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna let her tell you. I'm gonna let the father of the two boys tell you. Give us 1 second. We're gonna let the father of the two boys tell you about what happened and let you all go from there with it.
Case number 34, Susan Smith.
A dramatic and emotional scene playing out in South Carolina today. Susan Smith, who hasn't spoken.
First of all, I want to say how very sorry I am.
Pleading she served enough time for murdering her two young sons for letting her car sink with them strapped inside, and that she deserves to be set free.
I'll give anything if I can go back and change it. And I love Michael and Alice with all my heart.
Smith, serving a life sentence, but under South Carolina law, is up for parole after 30 years in prison, making her case to the 7-person parole board.
I am a Christian, and God is a big part of my life.
All right. So this happened back in '94, where this woman drowned her kids, and the fact that she drowned her kids and blamed it on a black person puts the black community in jeopardy. Not saying that this is the reason for this video. The reason for this video is to educate you guys on the dangers of not being in tune to what your children are doing and who you're sleeping with and procreating with. This woman was having an affair on her husband, and all of a sudden, the guy that she was sleeping with on the side, her side piece, told her he can't deal with the woman that has kids. So she drowns her children and blames it on a black person. Blames it on somebody else. We'll just go with that because I don't like putting that in the middle of this topic. Well, further on, she is up for parole. And you notice how she used that Christian thing. Why do y'all keep using this Christian word? It's not even fun to be a Christian anymore. It's not even fun to be a Christian because y'all keep using it and disrespecting what it really means. Jeez. Let's continue.
And I know he has forgiven me.
Susan's ex-husband David Smith arguing just as emphatically that she should be kept behind bars.
That's only 15 years per child. Her own children. It's just not enough. So I'm asking that you please deny her parole today.
Also in the room, family members and prosecutors from the original case. who spoke for nearly 30 minutes urging the board to deny parole.
Michael and Alice to get a chance at life. They were forced the death penalty.
Susan has always focused on what's best for Susan, and so the evidence that you have before you, I think, tells clearly that she has not focused on Michael and Alex.
If she wants a chance to be free after only serving 30 years, no. Life should mean life.
Susan's lawyer arguing that her mental health should have been given more weight during the trial.
It is about the lack of insight, the lack of diagnosis into mental health, and it's about stigmas, old stigmas.
After a short deliberation.
Okay, now this lawyer's about to tick me off. Welcome in, Avery. How are you doing? This lawyer's about to tick me off with this stupidity of mental illness. She was clinically sane all the way up until the point where she got rejected because a man didn't want her when you have a whole man at the house. Stupidity. So I don't understand how you lawyers have the heart to defend somebody you know that's guilty and somebody you know in your conscience is wrong, but you still go out and defend them.
Ms. Susan Smith is denied parole. The vote is unanimous.
I deposit.
You see him say that she was denied parole, and rightfully so. Michael and Alex should be here. They were killed 7 weeks. 7 weeks, and you see in that home video in October, they were killed 7 weeks later than that home video that they made. And not only that, this broad has been in trouble since she's been in prison, been caught sleeping with the corrections officer. Even the correctional officer told the corrections board that she don't deserve to be let out because she messed up his home. But you also messed up your home too, buddy. So you can't blame Susan on that one.
Deposited $400,000 from my life insurance policy into my checking account, and I'm very much.
2 more years, there'll still be justice for Michael and Alex.
Michael and Alex, 2 toddlers who were the center of a crime that captivated the nation. On October 25th, 1994, Susan reported what we now know was a fake story, that a black man with a gun carjacked her and drove off with her son still strapped in their car seats.
I've been on the highway in this same area with my children at that exact same time. It's too close to your heart.
Susan and her husband appeared together, pleading for their son's return.
Your mom and dad are going to be right here waiting on you when you get home.
Now, to all the people that were around when this happened, you automatically could tell that this broad was lying immediately. I even seen people like Steve Harvey make jokes about it. This woman was lying immediately, and I knew it. And now you got the whole community backing this lie or believing in you, believing in your lie. And now the community is on alert for a black man that don't even exist and can possibly get other people hurt.
Public, it was compelling stuff. To the authorities, they had questions early on.
Behind the scenes, law enforcement is focusing more on the discrepancies, and little by little, her story was unraveling.
9 days after the boys went missing, investigators confronted Susan. The 23-year-old confessed.
Everyone
Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of her children, Michael 3 and Alexander 14 months.
I almost dropped to my knees. I mean, did he say kill? How could she have 2 children and do them like that?
This was a stunning moment. The woman who's on TV calling for help, she's the one who did this?
There's an audible gasp, a silence of, how can this woman go from victim to alleged murderer in just an instance?
In her handwritten confession, Susan wrote that on the night of October 25th, she didn't want to live anymore. She detailed how she was in love with someone very much, but he didn't love her and never would. She says she decided to kill herself and her sons because she didn't want them to grow up with a mom. And drove to the lake, got a car, rolled down the boat ramp into the...
See his broad lying? See how she told that to lie? She said that she planned to unalive her kids and herself and put the car in reverse and drove down the hill. Oh, you only got one problem with that, loser. You wasn't in the car. And this other lie that you told because you didn't want the kids to grow up without a mother. There's another damn lie you told because they had an excellent father, and salute to him for standing 10 toes down in the paint for his kids after they denied you parole. You never be paroled.
Water with her boys inside. Tommy Polk, who spoke at today's parole hearing, was the lead prosecutor.
But the media component just took everything you normally have in a case and put it on steroids.
For months, the focus of the nation was on this tiny town, hitting a fever pitch just days before trial when investigators reenacted the crime. At trial, prosecutors played that reenactment and heard testimony from one of the divers who described seeing a small hand against a car window at the bottom of the lake. The jury also heard from Susan's ex-lover, Tom Findlay.
You have someone saying, yeah, I was in this relationship with her and broke it off because I didn't want the responsibility of children. I think it gives her the intent.
Susan Smith's main defense, her mental health.
They focused a lot on her background, on
happened. That's the case. So they can stop with this background of mental illness lie because it don't add up. You did this because you was thinking of yourself, just like the prosecutor and the judge said. You think of nothing but yourself. You slept with somebody while you've been in prison. You've been charged for 2 or 3 more occasions since you've been in prison, and you expect these people to let you go? No.
What had happened to her as a child, being molested, being troubled, and tried to portray her as something other than a monster.
The jury found Susan guilty after a 2-hour deliberation.
There was a tough psychological component going here. People didn't want to believe that a mother could do that.
Now 53, Susan has been behind bars more than half of her life. The record shows she has not been a model prisoner.
She says, I wanted to have oral sex with you.
Alfred Rowe was the guard at a prison in Colombia when Susan was an inmate there.
When I first met Susan, she was kind of friendly. She was well-spoken, polite, confident.
They had an affair back in 2000. According to the court records, she also had sex with a second guard. Both men lost their jobs. The second man went to jail for 3 months, and Rowe got 5 years probation. Susan was ultimately transferred to a different prison.
I truly regret what I done. She has shown through her abuse of the institutional rules and to join society and be a law-abiding citizen again. She doesn't deserve parole yet.
My opinion, they got the wrong one talking when he slept with her, when he knew the rules, so he should shut the hell up. He really should. You don't get to speak on what rights people have, and he's probably right, but he don't get to speak on what rights people should have when you slept with her and you got a slap on the wrist with 5 years probation. And the other dude that she slept with got 3 months locked up. You sound stupid. But you see her in this video crying and begging the people for help. And the old prosecutor that started off this case even said all she's thinking about is herself, and she is. She ain't thinking about these kids. How you love somebody that, and I love them with all my heart. You heard her. I love them with all my heart. You're heartless. You don't love nobody with your heart. How can somebody heartless love somebody with all their heart and turn around and kill them? You sound stupid. And I keep telling you, gentlemen, you need to watch out who you are having babies from. Need to watch who you are marrying. They're going to have to show you, instead of, you know how the car commercial is, show me the Carfax. So somebody need to show you the mind facts, the brain facts, because some of these women are unhinged, bro. And it's unfair to kids being left in this temperament. I get stuff gets hard at times, but no kid deserves to be in an environment to where they feel like their young hearts and minds is walking on eggshells every morning. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Records also show at least 3 instances of drug use and being sanctioned for mutilation. But she had no infractions for 10 years until this past August, when, according to the South Carolina Department of Corrections, she got into trouble for speaking to a filmmaker who deposited an undisclosed amount of money into her prison account.
Why should this board think that if we grant you parole that you're going to go out and follow the rules and the laws of society?
Well, this last infraction, I was trusting the wrong person. This lady contacted me and I trusted her. A documentary on mental health and the things that I have been found guilty of in here have been just stupidity.
Susan Smith is next eligible for parole in 2 years. David says he's not looking forward to reliving the pain.
I miss them very much, and I love them very much. And I will be here every 2 years going forward to ensure that your death doesn't go in vain.
We're going to stop it right there.
Case.
Shout out to Michael and Alex. Prayers to Brother Smith as he has to continuously relive this for the next 2 years with this loser taking his babies away from him. I don't say this lightly, gentlemen. From each race, I know I'm really content on pushing this towards the black community because it's a super problem there for us, and it's very rare. But it's not becoming so rare anymore. So I'm telling you, dudes, you need to watch who you're having kids from. And it's not going to be, it's like shooting craps these days. You guys are playing Russian roulette with your legacy if you don't take care of your kids. With that, we'll stop it right there. And please remember to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification button so you know when we drop another video. This has been the Disrespected Fathers Podcast.
Bye.